everybody's a little bit concerned about like what I do for a living. Well, I do many things for a living. That's why I just say make money. It really don't have a title. When you have multiple revenue streams, I mean, it's a blessing. But it's an everyday grind. I mean, I wish I could sit here and make videos all day. That would be fun. But that's not the majority of my day. Now, I have to check with my team to see what they do every day and make sure business is getting done correctly. And when things are not making sense to me, then I gotta get a meeting and get things going and get to the bottom of it before I have to take over. Now, if I have to take over, then we have a situation where nothing's gonna come out of the deal because I'm pretty much finna blow it up. Nobody wants me to make that call. So here's a clip of me calling to check in to see what's going on with a possible deal worth at least 7 figures.
Hello?
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, dude, how you doing?
I'm all right.
It's nothing like you've been off work for a while.
No, it's $5 Tuesday. I'm getting ready to go up here and watch the movies for $5. But, yeah, did you ever get the email back from that guy, Ramsey or whatever?
Well, he and I have been talking, but in terms of getting anything back from him in terms of a deal to move forward, no.
What is his hold up now? Because for what he wanted, they're giving him the spot that he wanted, right?
Well, it ain't about the spot that he won. He haven't gotten back from DHL any contract. They were supposed to give us a IPCO based on the what is it that we sent them? The soft copper offer that James made based on the procedures that we sent out. Now that SCO doesn't expire because remember I told you it was only for 5 business days. So that's long expired. So that was for DHL. Everything else that they have, what is that cooking? Everything else that we worked on back and forth just haven't gone anywhere. Because the CPs, either Jane have them or they haven't been functional. And so I sent him a set of procedures today, right now, from another guy to see if those would be acceptable to any of his clients. And it's his early morning, like 1 a.m. in the morning right now. So,
right, it's 1 a.m. over there.
So I won't know if he and you can accept those. But right now, with everybody I'm working with, it doesn't matter who I'm working with, there's just a lot of dilemma. And then even on the projects that I'm working with on him, he said the woman says she needs to talk to me before she can, move anything through. So I tried to give her a call. I hate to call her because those damn calls expensive. The first call is like $2.80-something for the first 3 minutes.
Well, she's not on Skype?
No. A lot of real investors, for the most part, if they're truly real investors, many of them aren't on Skype. But most of them will call you if they're legit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what Ramsey is doing here. I mean, I understand he's working for his client, but if his client hadn't got anything back from DHL, that should have been done a long time ago. That's what I can understand. Like, I mean, when he was saying his client that he represents he's got to wait for DHL to send him some paperwork. I don't understand why it took so long for him to get that paperwork, or did he have a problem with the procedures James was giving him?
Well, I don't know if they have a problem with what James gave them or not with DHL. They asked us to take what we sent them. The original procedures were just sent out in regular email format. And they asked me to specifically go back to James and have James to put those in SEO, in a form of SEO, which meant James had to put it in his letterhead.
Now, does he want this? And he's not talking about Rotterdam, is he? Is he talking about through Houston?
Well, James' product comes out of Rotterdam, period.
Okay.
But what they asked me to do for DHL, because it's a major corporation, was to have James to take it out of how we send stuff, just, copy and paste it into email or put it into a Word doc, but no heading and so forth. They asked me to have James put that in his letterhead, secure it in a PDF format with all of his information and to include the specs in it. And I did, and James did that. James did it. And that's why he put a time frame on it, because he had set it up where all DHL, because they said they agreed with the pricing and everything. So all DHL had to do was to cut back to us an ICPO.
Right.
And they didn't do that.
And that's why I don't understand why was that the holdup?
Well, I don't know. And the last time he and I talked about DHL, he said he didn't know, and he's not direct to DHL. So
yeah, right. I know, but I thought it would be at least in his interest to find out how many million they talking about doing a month. At least 2 million barrels, right?
Well, at least 2 million. At least 2 million there. But this is why, when you're not direct to someone, it makes it real difficult to badger. And if I don't get a response back from you in a reasonable amount of time, I soon forget about it, because it just doesn't go anywhere. And it agitates me if I got to spend my time on it. I could spend my time looking for something different than, hunkering over something that hadn't moved. And if a client doesn't come back to you, usually in a couple of days, you better believe most likely it ain't going nowhere. It just isn't. So I don't talk to him about DHL, but what I will do and am doing for him is that now that I have an idea of what it is that he's kind of looking for and the procedures, if I get something, I send it to him. And so I sent him a D6 today that kind of fits the category of one of the buyers that he's looking for.
The one that's D6 from Houston?
Well, see, D6, even though it might say Houston, it can also be Rotterdam, too.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Does he want it specifically out of Rotterdam, or is he trying to get it through Houston also?
For him, it doesn't matter, he said.
Because my thing is, I don't understand why DHL didn't get that information back, and why he had a hard time even retrieving it.
I don't know, but as far as DHL, for me, as far as DHL goes, and them not getting back the ICPO,
right,
for me, it's dead. And the only thing that I can see that probably happened is that DHL was probably working with other people at the same time. And they either got a better price or a better something else. Because if you look at James' procedures are pretty simple. They're not complicated at all.
Right, so that's why I would want to get the information back to see if there was a problem there, to find out if they saying, well, we worked with this guy before, this didn't work out or something. That's why I would like to get final closure on a situation instead of just leaving it out there.
That wasn't the issue at all. I told you from the beginning of DHL, because remember when he came back to me with DHL, he also had another company. I think it was called GVT or something like that. GVT and DHL came to me at the same time from Ramsey. And GVT is the one that, what's his name? James said he already had, and that they didn't say they were a bad company, but they couldn't proof their funds. And so he didn't want to work with them. He had already tried to work with them, and they couldn't show proof of funds. But if they could show proof of fraud, he would be willing to give them another chance.
Right.
And Ramsey Ramsey told me about, it's been 2 weeks now, that they were ready to do a POF, which they haven't come back to me with it yet. But with that being said, at the same time, he had brought up DHL, and they sent DHL James procedures. And they came back and said DHL liked the procedures, but they needed for James to secure the procedures in his letterhead,
which he did,
in a hard SCO with his specs. That means with the tankage information, the SG information,
exactly,
as if they were ready to buy.
Yeah.
And James did that. And sent it out to them. And since they sent it out to them, we haven't heard anything back from DHL. So James didn't try to short circuit anybody.
No, I'm not saying James. I'm like, he did what he was supposed to do.
And so if DHL tried to take that and go directly to James, I don't think James would accept it any other way, because in James' docs, that particular docs, he got a barcode, and the barcode is the barcode that came through his group. You know, a lot of these deals, they have what these numbers they call them? They have numbers on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, James don't put a number on his. He assigned them by barcode. And the barcodes are assigned to the brokers that brings the deal forward. And the broker would be the group that's direct to him. In this case would be Willie and the other guy, I can't think of his name right now, and that guy. And then, so I'm attached to them. So if that barcode came in, once he scanned it, he know where it comes from. So that if the mandate that Ramsey is dealing with, thinking he's going to walk away with a deal in the end, you know, he wouldn't. So let's say if the deal is moving forward, and because it takes more than a few days to get these deals done.
Oh, obviously. I said that's obvious, but I want him to make sure that Ramsey's doing his part.
Well, see, only part Ramsey got in this deal was to make the contact. That's the part he's got. So if his broker that he made the contact with is really trying to circumvent, Ramsey wouldn't know. Because all the information is on that soft corporate offer that we sent out. All of James' information is there. His phone number, his email, everything is there. So if that broker wanted to try and call James direct, he would have to have used the document that we sent him. But if they use that document to try to do the deal from that particular one, then that particular document will come back to us in the end because of the barcode. And if you try and let it expire and then try to come back, you know, from that point, I think James would start with asking questions first. How did you get my contact information? Because the very first time I contacted him direct, I didn't CC Willie. He sent me an email right back and asked me, how did you get my contact information? That was question one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He didn't send me no message back telling me how he could help me or respond to what I was trying to ask of him. He sent me a message back first and asked me, how did you get my contact information? And then when I apologized and told him, you know, I got it from Willie, and he told me it was okay to contact you. And then he reminded me, well, you always CC him. So he's pretty straightforward in his method. Yeah, buddy. But anyway, you know, I'm assuming that the DHL is there, because Willie did come back to me one day, because him and James talk to each other every day, he said. You know, he's in Dubai. And he asked me what was going on with DHL, and he reminded me that this was a week or so ago now, that I turned from my tennis, what you call